Hey everybody, in this video, we're going to share our favorite topic, budget.
He's the spender and I'm the saver.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean.
And I'm Deb.
And welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about my favorite topic, spending money. Budgeting. Yeah.
Spending money, yes.
Budgeting.
Okay, but I'm the budgeter. Yes.
She is.
So we were going to talk, we do get asked this sometimes, like, how do you come up with a budget, or, what are you spending throughout the year? So we had actually done a little bit of research, just how are
a lot of research.
Yeah. How are other couples handling it? What did they do for monthly budget? And basically the numbers that we came up with, what the other couples were sort of sticking to, was somewhere between $4,000 and $6,000.
Yeah.
Now, as he's the spender and I'm the saver. So for me, obviously, closer to $4,000 is way better, and for him,
but
he'd
for
be
me,
happy
like
to spend a little extra.
$6,000 seems a lot better.
Sure.
One caveat to note on this too is that it's hard to find this kind of information being shared amongst specifically digital nomads. There's a lot of retired couples out there who are definitely, and we appreciate them because that gave us something to go with. But we thought it would be helpful, since we are still working, to share this kind of information as a digital nomad couple.
This will also make a difference too where you're going in the world.
Yep.
So a lot of our 2025 was in South America, and that definitely helped us stay on budget. Yep. Same if you went to Asia, there's quite a bit of savings there. Obviously, if you are more of a go to Europe and the big cities in Europe, you're probably going to spend more.
Quite a bit more. Yeah.
Okay, so we're trying to stay in the $4,000 to $6,000. Yeah. So what did we do to prepare for this kind of a budget? Well, first of all, we can't have our home budget from when we were living in Kansas and have this budget too. So we sold the house, the cars, gave away a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes, just got rid of everything. And so what we looked at then was, how much are we spending on those things?
Yeah.
How much was our house payment, car insurance
costs,
the gas and repairs on your car,
having a weed eater, having a lawnmower,
your maintenance on your house and all your utilities.
Yeah.
And then when you start adding all that stuff up, it adds up to quite a bit. Every
spring we would put new mulch down, it all really does add up. And so when you bring that all back into a pool and you're like, $4,000 to $6,000 actually doesn't sound that tough.
Yes. And he would be happy if he never mowed the lawn again.
And the $6,000 was the bigger spot, but yeah.
So basically what we did is we looked at what were we spending on everything, which I knew already anyway, kind of, because I'm the budgeteer.
She's got a spreadsheet.
Yep. And so that kind of really helped us determine, okay, what were we comfortable with spending in 2025, our first year abroad? Okay,
so let's talk a little bit about kind of our monthly budget and how we did maybe in a couple of places. We're not going to go month by month and tell you exactly how we did month by month. But I think, Deb's got a couple of really good examples to kind of show you some differences on how we did in different places. And by the way, she did call herself a budgeteer. I'm going to get her ears.
I don't know if that's a word or not, but anyway. Okay, we're going to start with, we spent a month in Montevideo, Uruguay. And so our budget for that month actually was pretty decent. Even though our accommodations were rather high, we spent a total of $3,518.
And Montevideo is known, Uruguay is known to be one of the more expensive places in South America.
Yes. So that included accommodations, activities, restaurants, groceries, transportation, and shopping for a total of $3,500.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I got sick when we were in Montevideo.
Yeah.
So our restaurant bill is very low because I was eating at home for almost the entire month, very limited food.
Almost the whole month.
Yeah.
There was a time during the month when she was eating at the hospital because that's where she was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but the accommodations were higher, and had the accommodations not been so high, that would have been a really low month for us. So.
Yeah. And we could have also, because we talked a little bit about this, we had a great place that was just like 2 blocks off the beach in Montevideo. Yep. It was beautiful. It was a really nice apartment. And had we gone a little further away from the beach, we actually could have got an even better deal. Yep. So I think we could have done it even better in Montevideo.
Yep. And we're learning from that.
We are. Yeah. I always thought I always wanted a beach view. And then I started to realize it's just not that important.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was in February. So then I also picked the month of August. August, we were in Peru. Now, interestingly enough, our accommodations in Peru were probably about 2/3 of what they cost in Montevideo. They were much less expensive. However, for the month in Peru, we spent $4,912. So
yes, but
excursions.
Yeah.
So we did the Colca Canyon one weekend, and that one wasn't a terribly expensive excursion. The one that really got us was Machu Picchu.
And that's the reason we were in Peru.
Yes.
I mean, for other reasons to go, but that was the primary reason.
Now, if you wanted to save money and just simply go to Machu Picchu for the day, that would be less expensive. But if you want to also hike the Inca Trail and experience that,
take the train, have the excursion, like we did the whole thing. It's just going to cost
you more.
Yeah.
Was it worth it? Yes.
Totally worth it. Yeah.
So then also our restaurant bill was a little high.
This is the problem with Arequipa. You guys, Arequipa has like such an amazing food scene.
Same with when we were in Cusco too, though.
Yeah,
Peru.
Just Peru. Yeah. Like it was so hard to eat at home. And
we really liked the food in Peru.
There were times when we were like, yes, we have to eat at home tonight because we've been eating out too much. But oh my God, every meal I feel like in Peru was absolutely amazing.
It was so good.
Yeah, so it was okay to break the budget.
We did have times when we were balancing. So when we went to, after Montevideo, we went to Paraguay. We knew that was going to be less expensive. Housing was about half of what we paid in Uruguay. And then also, we have done house sits in England. So when we were in England for a month, other than the airline to get there, it was just accommodations and everything were much more affordable.
Yeah. And, you know, we paid in England, we paid for, the nice thing about doing house sits is we have a kitchen. So we would pay for groceries. We would make our food there.
Yeah, and we definitely did not eat out a lot in London or in England.
In England, yeah. But we also, we had to pay for buses and trains and things like that, transportation to get around.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Okay. So other than house sits, we used a lot of points too for 2025, Marriott points. So that helped a lot. And then we just constantly are looking for savings. I think because we have found that we really enjoy house sits for 2026, we will combine that into our plans for the year.
For sure.
And it really helps to bring the cost down. So even our first destination, we'll be doing our video next week will be about what does 2026 look like.
Yeah.
And even for right now, we're starting off 2026 in Ecuador, and we're starting off with a house sit for 8 days in Cuenca. So
with a couple of cats, right?
A couple of cats.
Yeah, we get to hang out with a couple of cats. That's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
So we feel like we've really kind of like walked into something good about how to help save money. Obviously, we are still working. We're nomads.
Yes.
And it's important to still be putting money away for retirement.
Exactly.
We still have children in 2025 that are in school. Both of them were in school for 2025. One is done and one will be done mid 2026.
Yep.
That deserves a high five. So helping them out. So I feel like 2026 is going to be an even better budget than 2025 was.
Yeah. Two notes on 2025 and just kind of something to watch out for. So one thing is stuff comes up. Like we mentioned Deb being in the hospital, you know, she got sick. We had to go do that. You know, we have insurance, which is good. So we didn't have in the budget to pay $1,500 toward our deductible on a $10,000 hospital stay, right? So you just got to be prepared. Just like if that would happen when we were back in Kansas, we would have to be prepared. Where would we get that money from? So that's the first thing. I think the second thing is just be flexible and we also tried to like hang on to the kind of vacation ideal in that once a year, not as part of our travel, but just as a vacation. So last year, as our reward for selling everything and getting through it, we kicked it off with an Antarctic cruise, which was our vacation. And so that kind of doesn't come out of the monthly budget.
Right.
It comes out of our vacation fund. So, you know, I mean, those are all things that we really digested, I think, in 2025.
Yes. And we hope to have at least one splurge every year.
Yeah.
Besides our regular just living in other places, one splurge.
Something. Yeah. And so I think that, you know, we did a good job in 2025. You get a high five for that. It's helping us now evolve. What does our 2026 look like?
Yes.
But I think the good news is like we can do this.
Yep.
We can stay in the $4,000 to $6,000 range
or less.
or less. See, I can't go or more because then she'll be like, no, no, no. But we can. I think that's a good, $5,000 medium is pretty good depending on where we're staying, what country we're in. So
Yep.
we hope that's helpful. It's a start. I think in 2026 we'll have more numbers to be able to share on how we did. If you got questions about budgeting, if you got a question about how much it costs, some of the countries that we visited and lived in, share them in a comment. We'd love to hear them. We'd love to do our best to help you create a budget for yourself. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe.
And thank you for joining us.
And we'll see you in the next video.